Wasted some energy. We wasted some energy going sideways. Let's stay straight.
Here in the bottom of the first, Jeff Bagwell steps in. Maddux missing the outside corner. Bagwell, big numbers once again during the regular season. 39 home runs. Drove in 130 runs. Now 2-0. Bagwell and Biggio, as Kevin Kennedy mentioned on the pregame, have struggled mightily in the postseason. Bagwell, career playoff numbers, 5 for 39, a 128 average. Maddux again just misses the outside corner, 3-0.
They've got some help this year with Berkman and Alou and Hidalgo and Castilla. In the past, they felt like they've had to do everything, and then from time to time you would press. It's only natural, but they're very, very comfortable this year.
Now 3-1, and remember, 2 of the 3 series the Astros have played in over the last 4 seasons have been against the Atlanta Braves. Now they face Maddux in game 1. This the 3rd time in 4 years. Bounce foul, back behind third. So after Maddux fell behind 3-0.
Yeah, and the other time they were facing the San Diego Padres, and they had Kevin Brown. It's also that series where Sterling Hitchcock really pitched well for San Diego.
The Padres went to the World Series in '98. The payoff pitch to Bagwell. Ball 4, so Maddux, who on average this season walked only 1 batter per 9 innings. He walked only 27 in 233 innings all season. Walks Bagwell here in the first.
Take a look at the pitching coach, Leo Mazzoni. What a job he's done as a pitching coach. Since 1992, the Braves have finished either first or second in the earned run average title. That's getting it done.
They finished first again this year with an ERA of 3.59. Two outs, runner on first. Lance Berkman making his postseason debut. Berkman, a switch hitter, batting from the left side against the right-hander Maddux. Takes inside, ball 1. Terrific numbers for Berkman this year. Went to his first All-Star game.
Really his first full season. 55 doubles, a .331 average. I mean, he's the guy that provided a lot of protection for Bagwell in that lineup. When Bagwell was not hitting, it was Berkman. Solid defender in left field. Played collegiately just a couple of miles from here at Rice University. This guy's always hit. Big-time numbers in the minor leagues and huge numbers at Rice.
Bagwell takes his lead off first. Strike called on the inside corner, 1-1.
You've got to keep your eye on Bagwell at first base. He's been a 30-30 man in the past a couple of seasons. 11 steals this year for Bagwell. He's only been caught 3 times. Situational base stealer, they call him. Picks his spot. As a matter of fact, Bagwell, along with Joe Carter, when Carter was with the Cleveland Indians, the only 2 first basemen in the history of the game to hit more than 30 home runs and steal more than 30 bases in a season.
Berkman falls behind, 1-2.
This is that fastball, that cutter. Starts inside and runs right back over the plate. That's been Maddux's bread and butter pitch. I mean, that's a lot of the plate right there, right at the belt buckle.
Maddux shakes off Baco and throws to first.
Against a guy like Maddux, when he's gotten 2 strikes on the hitter, and you can steal a base like Bagwell on first, you're anticipating maybe that he'll throw that change up down in the dirt, which would allow you to possibly steal that base successfully.
Braves with a run in the top half, lead 1-0. Two and two.
Well, same type of pitch. You can see the grip. It's that two-seam grip, that pitch that allows him to get a lot of movement. And that one missed inside.
Bagwell goes. Berkman strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning for Maddux. 1-0 Braves after one. You're watching exclusive coverage of the Major League Baseball postseason on Fox Family. Fox Sports, home of the 2001 World Series. Back in Houston, the Astros won 93 games. They have home field advantage in the National League playoffs, but manager Larry Dierker certainly not looking past Atlanta.
The Braves, you know, are such a battle-hardened team. And my concern is that since they didn't have their greatest season, they might be saying, we've got to show who we are. We're going to prove in the postseason that we're a better club than we were during the season, just like we wanted to prove this season that we were a better club than we were last year, and that they probably feel their best baseball is still ahead of them. And if you let them get started, it may be hard to stop them.
Well, the Braves have got proven veterans up and down their lineup and their pitching staff. They've got arguably one of the best managers in the game in Bobby Cox. Their general manager, John Sherholtz, what a job he has done for them. Always seems to make the right deal, Kenny. Never misses on the character of a player, whether it's a free agent, whether he's making a trade at the deadline or going to get a guy from the Mexican League like Julio Franco.
10 consecutive division titles, not counting the 94 strike-shortened season. B.J. Surhoff saw 5 pitches back in the first inning. He was at the plate when Chipper Jones was caught stealing. So now another opportunity for B.J., and he falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, and one thing he realized when he saw those 5 pitches is that Miller's got a live arm and a good fastball today.
Miller, 16-game winner during the regular season, finished 10th in the National League in earned run average. The 0-2 popped up. 4 Astros converging in front of the mound, and the catch is made by the third baseman, Vinny Castilla, who winds up in foul territory on the first base side.
Well, you like to see those guys in the infield that take charge. From the moment that ball went up, Castilla was calling it, and didn't call it just once, but called it about 6 or 7 times and came in and made the play. I mean, you can see him calling it and calling it. Everybody got out of the way.
One away, here's Andrew Jones, who takes a called strike. Andrew led the Braves with 104 runs batted in during the regular season, although his average dropped 52 points from 2000. Got a 251 after a 303 average the previous year. But he still put up good power numbers. 1-2.
That's a filthy pitch right there. 95-mile-per-hour sinker on the inside part of the plate. This ball just runs in on the hands of Jones. There's no way you can hit this pitch. Great location, great movement.
Got him. With high heat. First strikeout for Wade Miller.
Well, that's one of the reasons why Jones struggles. It appears at times he goes to the plate and really has no game plan. He'll swing at a ball inside, and then he'll swing at a ball up around his neck. I mean, this is just too aggressive with 2 strikes. I understand Miller throws very, very hard, but you've got to make him get the ball down the strike zone. You can't help him out here.
Jones struck out a lot during the regular season, 142 times. With 2 outs, Ray Sanchez, first pitch swing. Moving over in right center is Hidalgo. A 1-2-3 second inning, only 8 pitches in the inning for Wade Miller. Game 1, Indians and the Mariners, presented by MasterCard, followed at 8 Eastern. The Cardinals and Diamondbacks on Fox Family, presented by Budweiser. And then the Yankees and the A's get started. Game 1 tomorrow, 8 Eastern on Fox. Well, the Mariners tied the Major League record, the 1906 Cubs, with their 116 regular season victories. And they will send Freddie Garcia to the mound later this afternoon against Bartolo Colon.
That should be a good series. You've got that explosive offense in Cleveland, and then you've got the very good pitching staff in Seattle. 18-6, Freddie Garcia, one of the best young pitchers in the game of baseball. He's got 3 above-average pitches, a good hard fastball, a hard slider, and an outstanding changeup.
Mariners, despite their record-setting season, now start from scratch, 3 out of 5 against the Indians.
That's what the manager, Charlie Manuel, said. He said, it's back to 0-0.
Moises Alou leads off the Astros second against Greg Maddux. Alou finished tied for 3rd in the National League. .331 average. Drove in 108 runs. Alou, one of 2 Astros with World Series rings. Moises, a member of the 1997 Florida Marlins. Jose Vizcaino, a member of last season's World Series winning Yankees. The other Astro with a World Championship ring.
Alou's just a professional hitter. He gets himself in good hitters' counts, and you cannot throw a fastball by him. In his last 3 seasons, look at the batting average. Did not play in 1999 due to a knee injury, but the guy can flat out hit. Breaking balls, fastballs, right center field, left center field. Fly ball hitter, good power.
Long drive, curving foul down the left field line, 2-2.
That's what I mean by power. You try to sneak one inside on him, and he'll turn on it. I mean, when you watch him in the batter's box, very quiet with his hands barely move. That allows him to get in a good hitter's position, which allows the maximum bat speed through the strike zone.
He's never homered off Maddux in 53 at-bats. Takes inside, so the count is full. Remember, Maddux already walked Bagwell in the 1st inning. Earlier this season, set a National League record. He went 72 1/3 innings without walking anybody. Alou got a piece of it.
And then when he did issue a walk, it was an intentional walk.
Yes. There are the numbers. Alou against Maddux. No home runs, 53 at-bats. Time called. Vinny Castilla waiting on deck, then Richard Hidalgo. Bottom of the 2nd inning from Enron Field. Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Braves with a 1-0 lead. The payoff pitch from Maddux. Alou sends this one into right center. Diving catch, Andrew Jones. What a play in right center. 3 consecutive Gold Gloves and a diving catch to rob Moises Alou of extra bases.
Well, he's the best center fielder in the game. We talked about him in our open. The first step is key for Andrew Jones. When this ball goes into right center field, there's not a lot of guys that can get there, but he stretches out and makes a great play. Most guys like to go to the plate and hit. They have a lot of fun doing that. Andrew Jones has fun playing defense, and he makes it look rather easy.
Here's Vinny Castilla. Takes a call strike on the inside corner.
Alou wondering, where'd he come from? How can he catch that ball?
Well, if anybody can get to it, it's Andrew Jones. Now back to the screen, 0-2. What a pickup by General Manager Jerry Hunsicker here in Houston. Castilla languishing in Tampa with the Devil Rays. brought in by Hunsaker. He had 23 home runs, drove in 82 runs with the Astros. Reaches out. No chance for Andrew or Brian Jordan or Marcus Giles on that one. A base hit, first hit of the game for the Astros as Castilla singles to right.
That's just good hitting right there by Castilla. He is known as a good fastball hitter and not a good breaking ball hitter. But an 0-2 pitch down and away from him off the shoe top. He stays back long enough to hit this ball off the end of the bat into shallow right field. You cannot make a better pitch than that. You've got to tip your hat to Vinny Castilla.
A one-out single. Astros with their second base runner of the game as Richard Hidalgo steps in. Takes low from Maddux, ball one. Hidalgo's numbers were down from a year ago, but he has had success against Maddux. He's 5 for 11 lifetime against Greg Maddux. Castilla takes his lead off first. Maddux missing away, 2-0.
To all the right-handed hitters, Maddux really staying on the outside part of the plate. Vintage Maddux. The running fastball, he starts off the plate outside, but somehow catches the outside corner.
Out off to the left side, 2-1 on Hidalgo.
That's one of the things, Kenny, that Maddux is so good at. He'll stay away from you the majority of the bat. And he'll throw you that little BP fastball inside where he takes a little bit off, which speeds the hitter's bats up. And we've seen a number of guys already in this game yank that ball into foul territory.
Two balls, one strike. Richard Hidalgo, one out. Runner on first and the Astros second. Popped up. Out of play.
Way back.
2-2. Mentioned Maddux making his 25th career postseason start. He's a game under 500 in the postseason. 10 wins, 11 losses. This is third game one start against the Astros the last 4 years. Remember in last season's division series against the Cardinals, Maddux lasted only 4 innings. He allowed 7 runs, 9 hits. As the Cardinals won game one and swept the Braves right out of the playoffs.
And now if you're Larry Dirk, Kenny, you've got to make a decision. You've got Ausmus in the on-deck circle, a 3-2 count. Castilla doesn't run very well, and a guy that strikes out quite often.
There goes Castilla. Ball 4. Well, Maddux walks his second Astro in just an inning and a third. The Astros now with runners on first and second with only 1 out. Here's the number 8 hitter, Brad Ausmus. Ausmus takes a called strike. Remember, he threw out Chipper Jones attempting to steal second base back in the first inning. He's done a terrific job with this young Astros pitching staff, and that is why they reacquired Ausmus from the Detroit Tigers.
Well, they had Ausmus back in 1997 and 98. They traded him to Detroit. He spent 2 years there. And then they realized how good a receiver he was and how good he was at handling pitching, a pitching staff, They knew they were going to have a lot of young pitchers coming up, and he was the perfect guy for them.
Ausmus held up, now 2-1. 400 career average against Maddux. He's 10 for 25 against Greg Maddux. The pitcher, Wade Miller, waiting on deck. First and second, only one out. 2-2.
Braves so far are doing a nice job against Maddux, really making him work out there. And during the regular season, Maddux averaged just over 3 pitches per batter. Several 2-2 counts, a couple of 3-2 counts.
Castilla, the runner on second. Hidalgo takes his lead off first. Ausmus awaits the 2-2. Drilled foul down the left field line. Now back to the screen. With one out in the second inning, Rod, Maddux has already thrown 40 pitches.
That's a lot for him. But Houston is doing a very nice job against him. We talked about it earlier. This is not the same Houston team that got to the postseason in '99, where they had Biggio and Bagwell. The control not that good for Maddux. 23 strikes, 17 balls in those 40 pitches. They've got a lot of other guys in the lineup now that make it tough on any opposing pitcher.
The 2-2. Sanchez to Giles. Over to Franco. High throw. Applies the tag. A 6-4-3 double play. So Maddux gets out of the inning. Astros have first and second, one out. And Maddux induces the 6-4-3 double play. Pick up the specially marked Mach 3 pack in stores now and get a free limited edition World Series watch inside. Go to Mach3.com for details. Well, Greg Maddux worked out of trouble in the bottom of the second thanks to the double play ball. He comes out on deck as his battery mate, Paul Baco. That's for the first time. Takes a called strike from Wade Miller. Baco, a former Astro, played 73 games with Houston 2 years ago. One game with the Astros last year. Before he was sent to Florida and then subsequently acquired on waivers by the Braves. So split the 2000 season between 3 clubs, and now making the start due to the Lopez injury. Eddie Perez not on the playoff roster. Miller ahead in the count, 1-2. Baco, Maddux, Giles for the Braves here in the third. Right into the glove of Lugo. One away.
Let's go back and take a look at the pitch location on the outside part of the plate to Brad Ausmus. He set this pitch up beautifully because he had thrown the previous couple of pitches on the inside part of the plate. As a hitter, you start looking inside, makes it very tough to lay off that outside pitch, or you're going to try to pull it, and he hits it into the 6-4-3 double play.
Miller blows a fastball by Maddux, 0-1. Maddux had 12 hits this year, all singles. Nothing in 2. Former President George Bush, along with the former First Lady Barbara Bush, sitting in the first row behind home plate.
Got an Astros hat on there.
His son, of course, the former owner of the Texas Rangers. Maddux strikes out, second strikeout for Miller. 2 away here in the Braves' third. beautiful afternoon here in Houston. A sold-out Enron Field. The roof obviously is open. Not too muggy today.
A little better today than yesterday. A little toasty here in Houston yesterday afternoon.
Marcus Giles singled leading off the game. Moved to third on Chipper Jones' single and then scored the game's first run on Brian Jordan's sacrifice fly. 1-1. I said to Jeff Bagwell yesterday, boy, it's hot. He said, nah, not too bad. not bad for Houston.
Yeah, you tried coming here in July.
Giles behind on the count, 1-2. Well, Giles really provided a spark when he was called up in July. Braves released second baseman Kilby O'Veras. Giles stepped in. They also lost their shortstop, Rafael Furcal. They've used 5 first basemen this year. So they've turned over 3/4 of the infield since opening day. Miller missing high, 2-2.
Well, Giles is just very steady. He's not flashy. You're not going to see a lot of acrobatic plays. We're talking about the heat in here. It's hot to Mr. Maddux down there.
The curve just missing inside, so the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Let's take another look.
Good breaking ball right here. Good call by Bruce Fleming. Ball down and in.
Got him. Third strikeout for Wade Miller. His second consecutive 1-2-3 inning. Astros game played in the Astrodome. Game 4 of the Division Series. 2 years ago today, Brett Boone with the base hit for the Braves. Braves led 7-0 after 6. Astros would come back and score 5 runs late. But the Braves won the game 7-5, won the series 3-1, and that 2 years ago today, the final game ever played at the Astrodome, and the last playoff game the Astros played in.
We saw Brett Boone getting that hit. How about the season he had this year in Seattle? Wow.
Incredible numbers.
You'll see that game coming up next on Fox.
Game 1, Mariners and the Indians. Wade Miller pops it up in foul territory. Rocco's got it. 1 away. Brett Boone finished with a .331 average, 37 home runs, and led the American League with 141 RBI.
He had a terrific season. That was his second tour of duty with the Seattle Mariners. First time around, the big free swinger. He and Lou Piniella went head-to-head because he wouldn't cut down the swing. Then he went back. He cut down the swing and just had a great year driving the ball up the middle, right center field.
And while Brett Boone led all American League second baseman in home runs this year, it was Craig Biggio who led National League second baseman with his 20 home runs. Biggio grounded out to short back in the first inning.
Yeah, Larry Durker does not use Biggio to bunt a lot. If you see Biggio bunting at all, it will be for a base hit.
Fouled off to the left side, 0-2.
Maddux has got a lot of life on his pitches today so far. And that's one of the things that have been missing during that 4-game losing streak down the stretch as far as the regular season was concerned. Ball had straightened out. Hitters were having some success against him, excuse me.
Maddux quickly off the mound, lets it roll foul.
You look at the movement on these pitches. There's not a pitch that Maddux throws that's straight. That ball down and away from Biggio. And a lot of hitters are trying to pull that pitch. You can't pull that pitch, but against Maddux, because he has such great control inside and outside, you have to guess right. A lot of times when that ball outside, you're guessing wrong.
0-2 on Biggio, has played more games than anybody in the history of the Astros franchise. Bounce foul up over the Braves dugout. Julio Lugo on deck. One away. Here are the Astros third. Braves scored a run in the first and lead 1-0. The 0-2 for Maddux. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Biggio into left center. Second hit of the game for the Astros. Craig Biggio with a 1-out single.
It's a good at-bat by Biggio. He fought off a lot of pitches on the inside part of the plate. The cut fastball, the changeup. The ball's down and away from him. He couldn't put in play. He fought those off. He finally got something up in the strike zone and stayed back long enough to lace that ball in the left center field. Very good swing by Biggio.
His 6th career postseason hit in 44 at-bats. Lugo called out on strikes back in the first inning. Ground ball to the shortstop, Sanchez. To Giles for 1 for Franco. And the Braves turn their second consecutive inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. An 8-pitch inning for Maddux. 3 innings in the books from Enron. 1-0 Atlanta.
At a time when London lived in fear.
1-0 Braves. Time now for our RadioShack.com trivia question. And Rod, we'll start you off with an easy one. We promise the questions will get tougher as the playoffs move along. Craig Biggio has played the most games, as we mentioned, in franchise history. What position did he play before moving to second base?
Who said that was easy?
Did we stump you?
No, I think I've got that one. It's got to get harder during the playoffs, though.
At least for the folks in Houston, it can't get much easier than that one. But we'll give everybody a couple of minutes to think about it as Julio Franco leads off for the Braves here in the 4th.
Well, Fox Family is a family channel. We want to make sure we make it easy for the kids.
Franco into left center. Gets by Berkman. Backing up the play, Hidalgo. A leadoff single here in the 4th off the bat of Julio Franco.
Franco can just hit. Berkman goes over this ball and tries to barehand it. Nice job by Hidalgo getting behind him to back up to keep Franco at first base. But Julio Franco can just flat out hit. He uses a 35, 34-ounce bat, which is one of the heaviest bats in all of baseball. And had he been running on that play, he may have been able to get to second base.
Franco slides back in for Julio. His 3rd career postseason hit. He's been to the playoffs only once, back in '96 with the Cleveland Indians. Zipper takes a called strike on the inside corner, 1-1.
It's a great story, Julio Franco. Spent a number of years in the big leagues with Cleveland. Played in Korea, Mexico, Japan, and now finds himself in the big leagues again.
Signed his first pro contract with the Phillies back in 1978. Miller missing away, 2-1. Franco is the 1990 All-Star Game Most Valuable Player. He was the 1991 American League batting champion. And he has found a new home in Atlanta. At the age of perhaps 40, perhaps 41, may even be 43.
Bobby Cox said it didn't matter how old he really is, as long as he continues to swing that pole the way that he has.
Well, his birthday in an old Phillies media guide from the early 80s listed as 1958, which would make him 43, but all of a sudden that has changed to 1961 in some other publications. But it doesn't matter. Bobby Cox said, hey, who cares about age? He's done a terrific job for the Braves. Full count. Chipper Jones singled back in the first inning and then was caught stealing. Franco goes, and the payoff pitch is fouled off down the left field line.
With Chipper Jones at the plate, good hand-eye coordination, does not strike out a lot when he's swinging the bat well. You feel comfortable with starting the runner off first. Franco at a time had very good speed, doesn't run as well as he used to, but all you want to do here is stay out of a double play.
Third base coach Ned Yost setting the signals down. Nobody out, top of the fourth inning. Brian Jordan on deck, Julio Franco, the runner on first. Miller again throws over.
You can see by the actions of Franco at first, he is running again. Having a conversation with the first base coach, Glenn Hubbard. Maybe not clear on exactly what sign is on. You could see him asking Glenn, was I running on that pitch? They look at Ned Yost, third base coach.
Miller set, Franco goes, Chipper strikes out, and Franco is thrown out. A strikeout, throw him out, double play. Second Brave base runner thrown out by Ausmus over the first 3 2/3 innings.
To throw guys out at second base from a catching standpoint, you've got to have great feet. Ausmus has got that. Great exchange to the throwing hand and a good throw down to Lugo. Franco didn't try to steal that base, just really trying to stay out a double play, which allowed Ausmus to throw him out by a couple of feet.
And the first pitch to Brian Jordan well inside. Jordan has driven in the game's only run. Sacrifice fly to left field back in the first inning, scored Marcus Giles. Popped up, foul territory. Will there be enough room for Ausmus? No.
Take a look at the slide by Franco. You see Lugo coming up in front of the bag. That's why a lot of the infield instructors, they want you to stay back right even with the bag so that you don't have to tag that guy in the midsection or in the chest area. That play was a lot closer than it looked at first.
Defense has been the story so far this afternoon. There have been 3 double plays in the game and a tremendous diving catch by Andrew Jones as Jordan falls behind 1 and 2.
That's usually the case in postseason play. Good pitching and defense win the game. And when you're able to execute the little things.
Jordan into left, Berkman back on the warning track. It's out of here, a home run, Brian Jordan. He's driven in both runs. In this afternoon's game, the Braves now lead 2-0.
How big has Brian Jordan been for the Braves down the stretch? He's been healthy all season. He's emerged as a team leader. This is a good fastball on the inside part of the plate. Watch Jordan pull his hands inside, which allows him to get the barrel of the bat in this area and drives that ball out of the ballpark.
B.J. Surhoff fouls off the first pitch from Miller. Well, Brian Jordan, as we talked about earlier, finished strong. He hit 5 home runs in the last 12 regular season games. And now his 6th career postseason home run. So Larry Dierker's Astros now down 2-0. Miller allowed 31 home runs during the regular season, 9th most in the National League. Even Mike Hampton hit 2 in one game off Wade Miller. Surhoff into right center. Moving to his left is Hidalgo, and that will do it for the Braves in the 4th. But not before they add another run on 2 hits. Brian Jordan with a pair of runs batted in as the Braves have taken a 2-run lead. Ron Allen back in Houston. Once again, our Radio Shack trivia question. What position did Craig Biggio play before he moved to second base? Our RadioShack.com trivia question.
He was a catcher, and a good one. Made the All-Star team as a catcher in '91, and then in '92 made the All-Star team as a second baseman.
First player in Major League history to make the All-Star team at both catcher and second base. Bagwell falls behind 0-1. He walked back in the first inning. Braves leading 2-0. Brian Jordan has driven in both Atlanta runs. A sacrifice fly in the first, a solo home run in the 4th. Nice play by Chipper Jones across to Franco to retire Bagwell.
Ripped down the third baseline. Not a lot of reaction time for Chipper Jones. A step and a dive, plenty of time. Strong throw back across the diamond. That's one thing about playing on that hot corner. A lot of times that's all you get is a step and a dive. Ball gets on you in a hurry.
So the outstanding Braves defense continues. Lance Berkman struck out his first time up. Ball's behind 0-1. Oh, and 2.
Berkman, good fastball hitter. Maddux knows that. Lots of sinkers to Berkman on the outside part of the plate. Doesn't go to left field that much. Likes to pull the ball.
Got him. Berkman strikes out on 3 pitches. He goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Third strikeout for Maddux, 2 away. And the Astros 4th. Well, back in the 2nd inning, the diving catch by Jones, Sarab Alou. Ausmus grounds into the 6-4-3, ending the 2nd. And then Lugo grounds into the 6-4-3 to end the 3rd inning. And Maddux getting stronger. That the 7th consecutive first pitch strike.
That's why there's no such thing as the Braves being the underdog in any series they play in. When you've got a Greg Maddux going in Game 1, followed up by Tom Glavine in Game 2.
And a very interesting contrast, because the Astros had not yet clinched the division. Larry Dierker used Shane Reynolds in St. Louis on Sunday. So the 14-game winner Reynolds will not pitch until Game 3. Another 14-game winner, rookie Roy Oswalt, who's had a groin problem, will not start until Game 4. The Astros will go with Dave Malicki tomorrow against Glavine. Bobby Cox on the other side, able to rest Maddux and Glavine down the stretch. And they go in the first 2 games.
Well, Reynolds pitched a very good game for Houston on Sunday in St. Louis.
Alou awaiting the 1-2. Did he go around? No, says first base umpire Chuck Merriweather.
One of the toughest calls here for a home plate umpire, because you've got to concentrate on the pitch coming in. And a lot of times you're not paying attention to what the guy with the bat in his hand is doing. Good call by Chuck Merriweather down at first, giving Bruce Fleming some help.
Grounded foul, back behind third.
Just to finish that thought on Shane Reynolds pitching on Sunday, the Astros said it was very, very important for them to win the division, and it probably was. But at the same time, they didn't want to go in as the wild card and have to go to Arizona to look at Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson at least 3 times in a 5-game series if they win 5 games.
So the prize for winning the NL Central, Maddux and Glavine instead of Johnson and Schilling.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Here's the 2-2 for Maddux. And this time, Chuck Merriweather says yes. Voices went around. 4th strikeout for Maddux. A 1-2-3 4th. There it is again. Pitch was low, but Alou went after it. After 4, 2-0 Braves will return after a break from your local station.
This time.
An early start today, a 12 noon start here in Houston. Another noon start tomorrow. How does that affect the players?
Well, it really doesn't affect them. Anytime you get into the postseason, you don't care what time the game starts.
Wade Miller strikes out Andrew Jones for the 2nd time today.
They'd come here at midnight and tee him up. Jones is a pretty good fastball hitter, but Miller has just blown him away in 2 at-bats.
Five strikeouts for Miller over 4 1/3. He had 5 double-digit strikeout games during the regular season. 0-1 to Sanchez, who flies to center in the 2nd. Sanchez acquired late July from Kansas City after Furcal went down. Put together a 21-game hitting streak with the Royals earlier this season, but not known for his offense. He's a terrific defensive shortstop.
Bobby Cox told me yesterday, along with John Sherholtz, that Ray Sanchez is the best shortstop they've ever seen.
Here's the Astros shortstop, Lugo. Even better than Furcal.
And when you've seen as many games as Cox and Sherholtz, to say that about a guy, he's got great hands. Never a bad hop, very, very smooth. Doesn't have great range, as we get a look at Sherholtz there. Doesn't have great range, but everything he gets to, he gloves and a very accurate throwing arm across the diamond. What a run it's been for John Sherholtz.
The architect of an organization that has won 10 consecutive division crowns. The first team in professional sports to ever do that.
You know, I was talking to Dean Taylor, who is now the general manager in Milwaukee, who spent 16 years under John Sherholtz, and he said the thing that makes him so special is the fact that he hires good people and he allows those people to work.
1-2-3, 5th for Miller, as Bagwell pops out to Lugo, a 9-pitch inning, but Sherholtz club still with a 2-0 lead.
Yankee fans here in Houston.
And of course, my vote for the fans of the game, former president and first lady, sitting in the front row, directly behind home plate. The 41st president dressed in his Astros garb. So is he.
What's he got, a little towel? He's eating those nachos, and it must be a little hot. It's got him sweating. That's why he's got the towel on. Well, everybody's got towels. Must be a new style. Kenny, you got to get you one of those.
I was going to suggest one for you after I saw you drinking that hot coffee before the game.
I got to get it in me in the morning.
Well, the Astros fans hoping for some offense from their club. Astros with only 2 base hits. Greg Maddux in a bit of trouble back in the second inning. But over the last 2, only 19 pitches.
A couple of 6-4, 3 double plays in between.
Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, always active in the Braves dugout. Astros fans waving their white towels to try and get things going here in the 5th.
I wonder if Bobby Cox gets nervous watching Leo Mazzoni rocking right next to him.
I bet he doesn't even notice it after all these years. 1-1 on Vinny Castilla, who has one of the 2 Astros hits, a single to right back in the second inning. Vinny spent 3 years in the Braves organization back in the early 90s before he was chosen by the Colorado Rockies in the expansion draft. Went on to have a terrific career in Colorado. Sent this one in the air to right. Ryan Jordan, who has both RBIs in the game, makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Struggled in Tampa for a couple of seasons. And then when they picked him up here, very happy in Houston.
Castile last season and then over the early portion of this season with the Devil Rays. You see the average 219, only 8 home runs, but then really turned it up after he signed with the Astros.
I was talking to third base coach Matt Galante about Castilla yesterday. He said he really solidified that third base position. Gave him a lot of help in the lineup, but at the same time, played gold glove type third base for them. Very underrated defender.
The 1-0 to Hidalgo. A smash foul down the left field line, 1-1.
Maddux is doing exactly what he wants to do so far against the Houston team. That's about the 5th rocket we've seen hit off Maddux, foul down the left field line. He knows it's a very aggressive fastball hitting team. He'll throw you the fastball inside. He'll follow that up with a changeup inside.
Another foul to the left side, 1-2.
And then once he gets you thinking about the inside part of the plate, that's when he goes outside with a little running fastball that he runs on the corner right at the knee. Simply one of the best in the game the last 10 years.
8-time All-Star. 2-time 20-game winner. Full, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Hidalgo.
Well, we talked about Maddux and his dominance. Ranked 2nd in starts, 1st in wins, 3rd in winning percentage, 1st in earned run average since 1992.
The payoff pitch, ball 4, so Hidalgo walks for the 2nd time. Very uncharacteristic of Maddux. It's the 3rd walk he's issued today.
Well, there's really a method to his madness. He knows that Ausmus in the on-deck circle is a guy that he can get on a double play. And he also knows Hidalgo's very, very dangerous if you throw the ball in the strike zone. He has power. So now he's trying to get something down in the strike zone to see if he can get Ausmus to hit in his 2nd double play of the game.
Low and away, ball 1. Back in the 2nd inning after Castilla singled, Hidalgo walked. Ausmus grounded into the inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. Here in the 5th, 1 on with 1 out. And Ausmus at the plate.
At some point in time, if you're Larry Dierker, because Maddux is on top of his game, you're going to have to put some runners in motion when you get a favorable count. 3 walks today by Maddux. His season high is 4 back on June 15th. But by putting a runner in motion, you can stay out of that double play if the hitter hits the ball on the ground. And you may even find a hole in the infield.
Chipper Jones playing in on the edge of the grass at third. The 1-0 to Ausmus. In the air, deep left field. Surhoff on the run. It's out of here. Brad Ausmus ties the game at 2.
They finally got a reason to wave those hankies here at Enron Field.
For Brad Ausmus, his first career postseason home run. After he grounded into the inning-ending double play with 2 on in the second.
One of the few mistakes Maddux has made in the game. A ball elevated up in the strike zone. Good, quick, compact swing by Ausmus. Got enough to drive it out of the ballpark. And you've got to give Ausmus a lot of credit because with a runner on first and 1 out, he did not want to hit that sinker ball on the ground again, hit into a double play.
Long run for Surhoff, but he makes the catch crossing in front of Andrew Jones, so Wade Miller is retired. Ausmus earlier, back in the first inning and again in the fourth, threw out 2 potential base stealers, so he's gotten the job done both behind the plate and at the plate here in game 1.
And he's also done a very good job of handling the youngster out there, Wade Miller. Miller's looked very good.
Here's Biggio, who singled his last time up.
All of a sudden, this crowd has come to life in Houston.
We mentioned earlier, Ausmus with good numbers against Maddux in his career. Coming into the game today, a 400 average, 10 hits in 25 at-bats. In the regular season, that his first career home run off Greg Maddux. Biggio into right center. Andrew Jones makes it look easy, but the Astros have tied the game. A 2-run shot off the bat of Brad Ausmus. So after 5 from Enron, it's the Braves 2 and the Astros 2. A standing ovation for Ausmus. Baseball on Fox coming up at 4. Game 1, Mariners and the Indians from Safeco Field, and then on Fox Family at 8 Eastern, Game 1, the Diamondbacks and the St. Louis Cardinals. Tomorrow night, Yankees and A's get underway, Game 1 from Yankee Stadium at 8 p.m. as 20-game winner Roger Clemens will take the mound against 21-game winner Mark Mulder.
We talked about Brett Boone earlier, 37 home runs. He's in some good company there, home runs by American League second baseman.
Who would get your vote as American League MVP?
Suzuki. He's had an awesome year. He's done it all. From an offensive standpoint, a defensive standpoint, stealing bases, hits, driving in runs, hitting with runners in scoring position. There's some other guys that did a nice job in that league, but Ichiro would get my vote.
Led the American League in batting average as well as stolen bases in his first major league season. The 1-2 to Maddux. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I mean, Suzuki won 7 straight batting titles in Japan. He got bored, and then he came to the United States and won another batting title. Very talented.
Maddux pops it up. Biggio shielding the sun. 1 away. You were one of the only people I've heard call Ichiro by his last name.
That's okay.
Well, whatever you want to call him, he had a tremendous season for the Mariners. Will make his postseason debut later today against the Cleveland Indians. Here's Marcus Giles playing in his first playoff game, scored the game's first run. Single leading off the game. Fouls it off the mask of Ausmus. Ausmus only 5 home runs during the regular season. A total of 53 long balls in his 9-year career. Giles into left. Berkman for the second out. Right, our in-game box score is brought to you by Mobile Speed Pass. A base hit for each of the top 4 in the Braves order. And Brian Jordan, of course, has driven in both Atlanta runs with a sacrifice fly and a solo homer.
That being the home run of Brian Jordan.
Come on, Julio. Yeah, front of line.
With 2 away, Julio Franco singled his last time up. Rico Brogna was the Braves starting first baseman earlier this season. He is now coaching high school football up in Connecticut. He retired during the season. Wes Helms, Ken Caminiti, both on the playoff roster, have played some first base. Dave Martinez as well. But it's been Franco over the last month.
He's finally solidified that position. And we were talking to Bobby Cox before the game. He said he is a good first baseman. A middle infielder the majority of his career.
1-2.
The one thing that Franco has continued to do is hit. We were talking to him yesterday, and I was teasing him about the bat that he uses. I said, what do you have, a 36-inch, 36-ounce bat? He says, no, I'm too old now. I've got a 35-inch, 34-ounce bat. So I said, okay, that's a big change. But he uses a very heavy bat.
Up the middle, second hit of the game for Julio Franco. At what age did he make that determination? When did he become too old?
I don't know what age that was, but you know, when you use a heavier bat, it's a lot more compact, and it makes a different sound. A lot of guys nowadays use very small bats, 34 inches, 34 ounces, but they're so big, they're so strong. The bat speed they generate results in a lot of home runs.
Julio Franco now 2 for 3, so the Braves with a 2-out base runner here in the 6th in a 2-2 game. Chipper Jones at the plate. First pitch grounder, Biggio to Bagwell. Braves retired in the 6th. Wade Miller, 6 strong innings in his postseason debut. Lugo, Bagwell, Berkman coming up. Game of the Major League Baseball 2001 postseason. Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros tied at 2. Thanks to this.
Well, good swing by Ausmus. He got a ball up in the strike zone. Didn't overswing. You can't do that against Maddux. You've got to wait for him to make mistakes. And when he does make that mistake, you've got to take advantage of him, and that's exactly what Ausmus did.
Maddux has allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. He's walked 3. Struck out 4 in his 25th lifetime postseason start. Our in-game box score brought to you by Mobile Speed Pass. Top 5 rod in the Astros order, a combined 1 for 10, but the bottom 4, 2 for 6, 2 walks, and the Ausmus home run.
These 2 base on balls right there are key. Greg Maddux clearly pitching around the dangerous Hidalgo to get to Ausmus. He felt like with a runner on first, he could get him to hit into a double play for the 2nd time of the game. But he made that mistake up in the strike zone, and Ausmus made him pay. 3 base on balls by Maddux. That's rare for him.
He averaged only 1 walk per 9 innings during the regular season. Finished 17 and 11, 3.05 earned run average. Beat the Astros in his only start against Houston in the regular season back on August 7th. Facing Julio Lugo leading off for Houston here in the 6th. Lugo is 0 for 2. Called out on strikes in the 1st inning and grounded into an inning-ending double play in the 3rd. Lugo, Bagwell, and Berkman for the Astros here in the 6th. Lugo, ground ball to the left side. Booted by Sanchez. We talked about Sanchez earlier, one of the top defensive shortstops in the game, but he could not make the play on that one.
Well, that's what speed will do for you. It will make you rush. He knows he has to get over to the ball in a hurry because Lugo has good speed running down the line. He gets there, not able to field it cleanly, therefore not able to make a throw.
Sanchez committed only 6 errors during the regular season, 3 with the Royals, 3 with the Braves. Astros have the leadoff man on for the first time today. Here's Bagwell. Bagwell. Base hit right field. 6th postseason hit for Bagwell in 41 at-bats. That's a big one. 1st and 2nd, nobody out.
Bagwell, unorthodox stance. He stays down on the ball. Look at his knees. Look how spread out he is. But the head never moves. The head stays still, therefore able to drive balls in the left center and right center with a lot of authority. I mean, you don't see a lot of guys standing like that in the batter's box.
Lance Berkman has been struck out by Maddux in both of his at-bats today. First pitch, ground ball, Giles gets 1. Got the force at 2nd. Berkman beat the throw. Lugo moving to 3rd.
Houston caught a break right there. Not a good at-bat by the youngster Lance Berkman. He knows Maddux is going to throw him on the outside part of the plate. You can't pull that ball. Giles unable to get the ball out of his glove. Therefore, Sanchez not able to complete the double play. Every pitch that Berkman has seen in this game has been outside. You've got to take that ball up the middle or the other way. He's got to display a little bit more patience against Maddux.
So with 1 out, runners on 1st and 3rd. In steps Moises Alou, who was born in Atlanta in July 1966 when his father, Felipe, played for the Braves. That was the first pitch for Maddux. Back to the screen, 0-1.
Well, Houston was very patient early in the game against Maddux, trying to get the pitch count up. Now, a lot of the hitters are very, very aggressive. Bagwell singled in the right field on the first pitch. Berkman swung at the first pitch. And now Alou fouls the first pitch straight back.
Slow roller to the shortstop, Sanchez. Goes to first. Lugo comes in to score. And the Astros have their first lead of the game. no chance for a double play on the slow roller. Astros take a 3-2 lead. With 2 away, Vinny Castilla. Around the run unearned due to the Sanchez error. We talked about the terrific defense from the Braves over the first 4 innings. 2 double plays, the catch by Andrew Jones. Chipper Jones took a hit away from Bagwell, but defense haunting the Braves here in the 6th.
It's one of the things we talked about earlier. When you start playing in big games, when you get in the playoffs, you can't make mistakes like that. You've got to make all the plays. You've got to do all the little things, because those are the things that come back to haunt you.
Nothing and 2 on Castilla. Got him with the breaking ball. Strikeout number 5 for Maddux, but the Astros take the lead. An unearned run due to the Sanchez error on the ball hit by Lugo. We'll return after this message from your local station. Back in Houston on Fox Family, Astros have taken a 3-2 lead over the Braves. Brian Jordan leading off for Atlanta. They're in the top of the 7th. Greg Maddux between innings in the dugout.
It looks like Maddux is done. A couple of attaboys from Bobby Cox and some of his teammates.
Braves had Steve Reed and Mike Remlinger up and throwing. Cianez as well. Rudy Cianez now up in the Atlanta bullpen. Greg Maddux heading to the clubhouse. Wade Miller has faced only 3 batters above the minimum for the Astros. He's allowed 5 hits, has not walked anybody, and 2 Braves have been caught stealing. Jordan stays alive. Brian Jordan with both Braves runs batted in. Sacrifice fly back in the 1st inning. 2-out solo home run in the 4th. Wade Miller pitching into the 7th. During the regular season, went at least 6 innings in all but 4 of his 32 starts. Foul tip into the glove of Ausmus. 1 away. As we send it to Los Angeles for a game break. Peter Glasgow.
So, Kenny, 116 wins got Seattle into the record books, but the last thing they want to be is history. The Indians will begin their quest to eliminate the best team in baseball as Game 1 of the American League Division Series presented by MasterCard gets underway today on Fox. Follow the whole tournament on the Fox network, Kenny.
All right, thanks very much, Jeannie. With 1 away, B.J. Surhoff, long foul down the left field line. First pitch about an hour from now. Freddie Garcia and Bartolo Colon on Fox.
Colon struggled his tune-up start before going into postseason, and Cleveland's hoping that the real Bartolo Colon shows up. A power fastball, throws very, very hard.
High heat to Surhoff, 1-1. So the Mariners and the Indians presented by MasterCard, 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
You know, a lot of people think there's a lot of pressure on the Mariners because they won 116 games this year, saying that if they do not win the World Series, then it's not going to be a good season for them. But I don't believe that. They've got a great manager in Lou Piniella. They've got 25 guys over there, a lot of veteran players, a lot of guys that have played in the postseason. That team's going to show up.
Lost to the Yankees in 6 in the ALCS last October. Yankees and the A's get underway tomorrow. Oakland gave the Yankees their toughest test last year in the Divisional Series. You follow the Diamondbacks day in, day out as one of their broadcasters. How do you forecast Arizona and St. Louis?
Well, they've got Schilling and Johnson. The last couple of weeks, they really started swinging the bats well. Steve Finley and Tony Womack, a couple of guys that have struggled the majority of the season, really started getting a lot of base hits. Young Kim, their young closer, pitched very well down the stretch. Arizona's got a solid team.
Base hit it to left field. Off the bat of B.J. Surhoff. His first hit of the game, a one-out single. Off Miller here in the 7th. Bert Hooton, Astros pitching coach, going to the phone.
Well, we talked about the importance of Houston having a lead going into the 6th inning. They've got 4 guys down in their bullpen that are former closers. Larry Dierker very, very confident with his bullpen. They've got Mike Williams, Mike Jackson, Octavio Dotel, and they've got the little closer down there in Billy Wagner. Dotel and Wagner, they can miss some bats late in the game. Power arms, fastballs up to 96, 97 miles per hour.
Popped up. Back behind home plate, out of play. 1-1 on Andrew Jones with Dave Martinez in the on-deck circle. Ray Sanchez due up next. Martinez has come out. Finally in the playoffs. As we take a look at Mike Jackson, the Astros pet.
One of the setup men down in Larry Dierker's bullpen. Speaking of power arms, Wade Miller's got a power arm. I mean, he has been throwing some fastballs by some Atlanta hitters.
6 strikeouts so far. Ball 2, says first base umpire Chuck Merriweather.
Chuck's had a lot of calls down at first base. Andrew does not go too far there. How about that? An 87-mile-per-hour slider. He's got a good arm.
Miller's been impressive. The 2-1 base hit it to left field. So the Braves piece together back-to-back singles as they threaten here in the 7th inning. What's going through Larry Dierker and Bert Hooton's mind right now?
Well, they're gonna stay with Miller, it appears here. He's still got good life on his fastball. He's got good stuff. I question the pitch selection right there. But that's what happens, though. You've got a guy in Andrew Jones that's got very good bat speed. The count is 2-1. You don't want to miss with the fastball, so he threw him a breaking ball and really sped the bat up of Jones. Jones has been tardy on the fastballs all day long.
Dave Martinez has played in 1,919 regular season games with 9 teams. This is first postseason appearance as Bert Hooton comes out to the mound. Remember, Wade Miller working on 3 days rest for the first time in his professional career.
A lot of times you really worry about power pitchers when they're working on short rest because they may not have their good fastball, but that has not been the case here with Miller. As a matter of fact, he's had a livelier fastball. He's had more movement with that pitch. And that's one of the things Larry Dierker said he was hoping for. Bert Hooton having a conversation with Miller just to see how he feels. I'm sure he respects the opinion of the veteran Ausmus as well. Still throwing very, very well. And during the season, he got stronger down the stretch.
He's thrown 88 pitches so far, 62 for strikes. First and second, 1 out. And a nice story. Dave Martinez finally making it into the playoffs in his 16th Major League season. Up until today, he had played the most regular season games among active Major Leaguers who have never been to the playoffs. And he takes ball 1 low and inside. Surhoff, the runner on second. Andrew Jones on at first. They both single. 1 away. Top of the 7th inning. Astros lead by a run.
Well, Martinez is a good player. Good outfielder. Good hitter. He's had a great career.
Bounced around last year, played for 4 teams. Good Denied, 2-0.
Normally you'd see Keith Lockhart up there in this situation, who's also on the Braves roster. He's been a very good pinch hitter for him the last couple of years, but he has really struggled as of late.
Fouled off to the right side. 2-1 on Martinez, who's pinch hitting for the shortstop, Ray Sanchez, whose error in the 6th led to the go-ahead run for the Astros. Two balls, one strike, one out. Runners on first and second. Now time called. Martinez steps out.
This is the difference in the game right now. Last half inning, routine ground ball to the shortstop, and the sure-handed Sanchez could not make the play.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Lugo. To second for one. Over to first, double play. 6-4-3. Lugo to Biggio to Bagwell. And the Braves are retired in the 7th. First and second, one out. And the Astros turn 2. We keep it here at Enron during the 7th inning stretch.
Neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth can separate us from God's love. May He bless the souls of the departed. May He comfort our own. And may He always guide our country. God bless America.
Today's way to pay, and by Nissan. Nissan introduces the totally new V6 Ultima, the cure for the common car.
Kenny Albert, Ron Allen, back at Enron Field. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Astros leading by a run. 32-year-old right-hander Rudy Cianez coming on to pitch for the Braves. Began the season with the Padres after pitching in Atlanta each of the last 3 seasons, and then was reacquired by the Braves on waivers on August 31st.
Well, Cianez has got a power arm. Fastball gets up to 95 miles per hour, and his out pitch, depending on who you talk to, it could be a changeup, could be a forkball. They just call it a fastball, but he has got one outstanding pitch when he's gotten 2 strikes on you.
Mark DeRosa now in at shortstop after Sanchez was pinch hit for. As Hidalgo fouls off the first pitch from Cianez. Bottom of the order for the Astros. Hidalgo. Ausmus, the Astros hero today. And then the pitcher spot. Hidalgo has walked twice. Back in the 5th inning, a 1-out walk, and then Ausmus followed with a 2-run homer.
Hidalgo only walked 54 times during the regular season in over 500 at-bats.
Blowing away, 2-1.
But you've got to give him a lot of credit. Able to work Greg Maddux for a couple of base on balls, and Maddux has got the best control in the league.
Popped up, back behind home plate, 2-2 on Hidalgo. A lot on Maddux in 6 innings. He allowed only 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 1 home run. Maddux, the pitcher of record for the moment for the Atlanta Braves. Hidalgo held up, and the count is full. Count remains 3-2. Astros 2 runs in the 5th on the Ausmus homer, and the go-ahead run in the 6th as Julio Lugo scored on a Moises Alou ground out to the shortstop. After the shortstop, Sanchez committed the error earlier in the inning, which allowed Lugo to reach.
Well, more than likely, we've seen the last of Wade Miller. He drew up 3rd in this inning. Mike Jackson standing on the mound in the Houston bullpen. He is ready to come in the game. We told you Miller working on only 3 days rest. And he has pitched a great game against a good Atlanta team.
Hidalgo walks for the 3rd time today. Our game summary brought to you by Nissan. Brian Jordan has driven in both Atlanta runs. Rod Ausmus 2-run homer in the 5th. And the pitching lines on the starters. Big day for Brad Ausmus. Threw out Chipper Jones, attempting to steal in the 1st. His first career postseason home run in the 5th. He also threw out Franco, attempting to steal in the 4th inning, a strikeout, throw him out, double play.
Well, Ausmus has had a very good day. He has done everything right. Did a nice job with Miller on the mound.
Ran to bunt and then took ball walk.
Well, now we may see some activity. With Hidalgo on first, you've got Ausmus in the batter's box. He can handle the bat. They got a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle.
Orlando Merced, the veteran who had a terrific year pinch hitting for the Astros. Bunted foul down the first base line, 1-1.
Well, if he sacrifices Ausmus in this situation, he's able to do it. Hidalgo will be down at second with 1 out and a base open. The Braves would walk Orlando Merced. I mean, he's been that good a pinch hitter all season long.
A 1-1 from CNS. Bunted foul again to the right side, with Chipper charging in from 3rd and Julio Franco from 1st. Now 1-2 on Ausmus.
Ausmus had 6 sacrifice bunts during the regular season. So he has done that.
Ausmus swinging away, fouls it off, back behind the Astros dugout. So the count remains 1-2 with no outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, Astros with a 3-2 lead in Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Astros have never won a playoff series in club history. There's former Astro Ken Caminiti in the Braves dugout. See it as set. The 1-2. Here's the shortstop to Rosa. The second for one. On to first. High throw. Ausmus is safe.
Braves just not playing good defense today. It's a nice feed from DeRosa to Giles, but Giles unable to complete the double play. He gives him a nice feed right in the chest. The runner's not even on top of him. He does not throw the ball on the bat. You've got to complete that double play there.
No error charge because you cannot assume the double play. So with one out, here's the pinch hitter Merced, who had 58 pinch hit at bats this year for the Astros. Led the majors with 17 pinch RBIs.
That's getting it done.
Including 4 pinch hit home runs. Pops this one up. Foul territory. Baco and Franco. And it's the catcher Baco who makes the play.
Well, Franco was calling that ball all the way, but Baco, tremendous concentration, never took his eye off the ball. He doesn't hear Franco calling the ball. And the taller Baco able to make the play.
Two away. Ausmus the runner on first. For Craig Biggio. Biggio 1 for 3. Single to left back in the third inning. Mike Jackson for the Astros pen. After Wade Miller gave Houston 7 solid innings. Miller allowed 2 runs on 7 hits. Did not walk a batter and struck out 6. Biggio with a drive. Deep left center. But it stays in the ballpark. What a catch by Surhoff. A twisting catch by Surhoff on the warning track in left center to end the inning. 7 innings in the books. Astros by a run. October 26th, one family must spend one terrifying night in one of the scariest places on earth, Dracula's Castle. It's only on Fox Family Friday, October 26th. Well, one of the scariest places here at Enron Field today has been the batter's box for the Atlanta Braves. An outstanding job in his postseason debut. Wade Miller goes 7 innings, and now 36-year-old right-hander Mike Jackson comes out of the bullpen for Houston.
Well, we talked about Jackson a little bit earlier. Here's a guy that's been a closer for several seasons. Back in '99, he say 40 games for Cleveland. Did not play in last season due to injuries, but nice sign by the Houston Astros. I mean, this is where he's been given the ball a lot this season. And for the most part, he's done a nice job getting the ball to Billy Wagner, their closer.
Keith Lockhart pinch hitting for Paul Baco for the Braves. Lockhart. There's Ken Caminiti on deck. Lockhart, 15 pinch hits this year in 46 at-bats after he was only 1 for 25 as a pinch hitter last season. So he rebounded here in 2001. Pinch hitting for Baco, leading off the Braves' 8th.
Well, good contact hitter. Very seldom will you see Lockhart overswing. He puts the ball in play, which gives you a chance.
He's 1 for 3 lifetime against Mike Jackson. Jackson 152 career saves as Miller watches from the dugout. Jackson with the most playoff experience on the Astros postseason roster. Lockhart gets a piece of it, so the count remains 1-2. Ken Caminiti waiting on deck to pinch hit for CNS. Lockhart into the left field corner, heading for second. A pinch hit double, leading off the 8th for Keith Lockhart. Only the second extra base hit of the game for the Braves.
A solid at-bat by Lockhart. He had the fastball blown right by him. That time he stays within himself, slices the ball down the left field corner. You got to hurry with the short porch here in Houston. He had to slide to make it in safely.
Mixed cheers and boos for Ken Caminiti, who spent 10 years here in Houston. Fouls the first pitch back. He began this season with the Texas Rangers, released in early July, and picked up 3 days later by the Braves.
Well, Caminiti's been struggling from an offensive standpoint. He has not been able to pull the ball as of late. Everything he's hit the last couple of weeks has been sliced down in that left field corner. But in this situation, with nobody out, runner on second base, he needs to try to drive something through that right side in the infield. So whatever it takes for him to pull the ball here.
1-1 on Caminiti. Lifetime against Jackson. 1 of 8, 3 strikeouts, also 3 walks.
You know, you've got to get Lockhart over to third base or drive him in. And the only way you're going to do that is by pulling something to the right side of the infield or a very slow chopper toward the shortstop.
One and two. In relief of Miller.
Yeah, hanging slider and a big swing by Caminiti.
Nobody out. Lockhart takes his lead off second. A 1-2. High and tight. Backing Caminiti off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a good pitch by Jackson. You elevate the fastball high and tight. Now you can do a couple of things here. You can go back inside hard with the fastball, or you can throw him the 2-seamer down and away from it.
Got him.
That's why you have scouts. Atlanta's had scouts following, Houston has had scouts following the Atlanta team the last couple of weeks. And the scouting report on Caminiti is that he was having trouble catching up with the fastball. Jackson knew that. He challenged him and blew the ball right by him.
And Caminiti, a guy who has had tremendous success in the postseason. In 21 career playoff games, Caminiti has 8 home runs. So 1 away. Here's Marcus Giles. Fouls the first pitch back behind first. 0-1. Giles singled and scored the game's first run. Back in the first inning, struck out of the third, fly to left in the 6th, 1 for 3. Lockhart led off the inning with a pinch double. Low and away, 1-1. Braves won only 88 games this year, their lowest win total, excluding the strike season, since 1990. Now 2-1. Keep in mind, Rod, The New York Yankees last season won only 87 games and went on to win the World Series.
That's why a lot of people believe that this Braves team is on a mission. Last 2 weeks of the season, everything came together for them. The pitching staff, their hitters started to produce.
Diving attempt by Biggio. Coming around to score is Lockhart, and the Braves have tied the game. An RBI. Single to center for Giles. A no decision for Miller. And we are tied at 3.
Miller did an awesome job in the 7 innings he pitched. Giles just stays with this ball and rips it past the diving Craig Biggio. You want to see your infielders leave their feet with runners in scoring position to try to keep that run at third. And you see Lockhart racing home, the right arm of Ned Yost waving him all the way. That says it all. Wade Miller's reaction.
Maddux off the hook. Sanchez, for the moment, off the hook.
Yes. Bobby Cox told us before the game, Julio Franco is one guy that he will hit and run with in his lineup. Good contact hitter. He's got a good count to do it in here.
Lugo boots it, first and second. What's going on at the shortstop position today?
I don't know. Guys look jittery out there. It's a tailor-made double play. Second time in the game we've seen that. And guys just unable to make the play. Lugo's a pretty good shortstop with good range. This ball just eats him up.
Lugo did commit 22 errors during the regular season. Larry Dierker out to make a pitching change. Some tough luck for Jackson.
Yes, it was.
Seventh straight postseason lone save for the Astros, as Billy Wagner will come in with 1 out in the 8th.
I've had some really exciting moments in Billy.
Braves and Astros tied at 3. Billy Wagner comes on here in the 8th following the Lugo error and then the ball that just got by a diving Biggio.
It's a game of inches. Biggio knocks that ball down. That runner doesn't score. Lockhart still at third. Then you get the double play ball that Lugo unable to field cleanly.
First and second, 1 out. Chipper Jones with a drive to left. It's out of here. A 3-run home run. Off the bat of Chipper Jones, who had been 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts against Wagner.
That's one of the reasons why they brought Wagner into the game. That and they wanted to turn Chipper around to the other side. A right-handed batter this season, Chipper Jones only 8 home runs. He has 30 home runs from the left side. But he jumped on the first pitch fastball from Wagner and hit a laser into the left field seat.
The first pitch from Wagner, a 3-run shot, 6-3 Atlanta. Ryan Jordan takes a called strike.
That's why we talked about it earlier. There's no such thing as the Braves being an underdog. Look at him get on top of this fastball right around the belt, but he knew it was gone as soon as he hit it. What bat speed Chipper Jones has. He's got a simple swing too, Kenny.
You talk about a quick turn of events. Astros led 3-2 coming into this half inning. It's now 6-3 Braves. Chipper Jones' 9th career postseason home run. As I said, in the regular season, Chipper against Billy Wagner 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. 1 1-2.
Well, you like the strategy of Larry Durkin. Anytime you get a chance to turn Chipper Jones around to the right side, that's what you do with the game on the line. But Chipper up for the challenge.
He hit 3 home runs here at Enron during the regular season. 3 of his 38. John Smoltz up for the Atlanta bullpen. Wagner strikes out Ryan Jordan for the second out of the inning.
That slider has become a very good pitch for Billy Wagner. When Randy Johnson pitched for Houston the second half of the '98 season, he was the one that talked Billy Wagner into using the slider a little bit more. It's always been a good pitch for him, but he just failed to use it. He's a power guy that relied heavily on the fastball, but that slider makes the fastball look even quicker than it is.
0-1 to Surhoff. Chipper Jones has silenced this sellout crowd with a 336-foot line drive home run to left. His 9th career postseason home run. It has given the Atlanta Braves a 6-3 lead here in Game 1. 4 runs here in the 8th inning for the Braves on 3 hits and an error. And there is the winningest pitcher in the history of postseason baseball.
Yeah, he just gets it done.
On 1 hop, Lugo. That will do it. But not before the Braves score 4 runs to take the lead. Lockhart, a pinch double, which started the rally. The error committed by Lugo. And then on the next pitch, the first pitch from Billy Wagner, a 3-run shot. Chipper Jones, middle of the 8th, 6-3 in Atlanta.
MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. By Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. And by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done.
Braves leading the Astros 6-3. Coming up at 4 Eastern on Fox. Game 1, Mariners of the Indians. Then at 8 Eastern on Fox Family. Game 1, Diamondbacks and Cardinals. And the Yankees and A's get started. Game 1 of their American League Division Series tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on Fox. 3 changes for the Braves. John Smoltz comes on in relief here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 10 saves during the regular season.
Yeah, John Smoltz, a free agent at the end of the season, and if he re-signs with the Atlanta Braves, his role will be as their closer. Power arm, 97-mile-per-hour fastball.
Jose Vizcaino pinch hitting for Julio Lugo. Vizcaino in Game 1 of last year's World Series for the Yankees drove in the game-winning run in the 12th inning to beat the Mets. 156 average as a pinch hitter this year for the Astros. One and two. Smoltz, the all-time winningest pitcher in postseason baseball with 12. 2 ahead of Dave Stewart, Tom Glavine, Whitey Ford, and Greg Maddux. He's also the all-time postseason strikeout leader. Adding to his totals with his 174th career postseason strikeout.
How about delivering the goods? Postseason career, 26 starts, awesome record of 12-4, 8.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. Smoltz unlike any other closer in postseason because he's been a starter the majority of his whole career. 4 pitches for Smoltz: fastball, curve, slider, and a changeup, and he will use all of them.
His battery mate is Steve Torrealba, who has played in a grand total of 2 Major League games, both this past week. He was called up following the injury suffered by Javi Lopez. Eddie Perez not on the postseason roster, so Steve Torrealba, 23 years of age, is the Braves' backup catcher in the 8th inning of Game 1. Keith Lockhart has remained in the game at second base, replacing Giles. 6-3 Braves. The 0-2 to Bagwell. Foul back against the screen. Count remains 0-2.
Well, Javi Lopez, their everyday catcher, has a high ankle sprain. They don't know if they advance to the NLCS, will they have him back. Eddie Perez, not throwing well, surgery a couple of seasons ago. He's missed a lot of this year. And Torrealba was their best option.
Bagwell, high fly ball, left center, backpedaling, and making the catch on the warning track is Surhoff for the second out.
Speaking of options, what a nice luxury for Bobby Cox in the 8th inning to go to John Smoltz. Most closers pitch 1 inning, but because he has started so much and he is so strong right now, he can use him for 2 innings. And you talk about a guy getting it up there with some heat right now. He is throwing extremely hard. 10 for 11 with a 1.59 earned run average.
John Rocker had 19 of those other 31 saves. Lance Berkman, diving attempt by Franco, but it got by him into right field. First hit of the game for Berkman.
Well, we told you earlier that Lance Berkman was a very good fastball hitter. He had some trouble with Maddux. Maddux working the outside corner, sending the fastballs away from him. But against John Smoltz, turns the fastball around. Good fastball hitter. That ball was by Franco before he decided to move.
The last time Moises Alou was at the plate, back in the 6th inning, he grounded out to the shortstop Sanchez, but drove in the go-ahead run. A lot has happened since then. Alou, this time, grounds out to Lockhart. 8 innings in the books. 6-3 Atlanta.
Okay. Small business software, $500.
Coming up.
Small business seminar, $300. Small business supplies, $90.
Playoffs for Fox Family.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. We head to the 9th. The Braves, who have lost their last 7 postseason games, 1 inning away from victory. A 4-run 8th inning for Atlanta. And Mike Williams now on to pitch for the Astros.
22 saves for Mike Williams before coming over to Houston.
Andrew Jones fouls it off, 0-1.
Pitching in his 66th game this season. It's one of the guys we talked about early on for Houston that Larry Dierker felt very, very comfortable about going to the late in game because of his experience as a closer. But it hasn't worked out for Larry Dierker today.
Williams saved 22 games for the Pirates earlier this season. Well, tomorrow, noon start here in Houston. Braves will send Tom Glavine to the mound against Dave Malicki, who went 7-3 for the Astros after coming over from the Tigers. Larry Dierker certainly got what he wanted out of Wade Miller this afternoon.
Well, that's why this game was so big for Houston, knowing that Malicki was going to take the mound. tomorrow making his first postseason start against the proven veteran in Tom Glavine. So we get a look at Julio Lugo, who made a crucial error last half inning, which led to 3 runs for the Braves.
Andrew Jones to deep left. 7-3 Atlanta.
This Braves team is battle-tested. Down the stretch, they played big games against the New York Mets, against the Philadelphia Phillies. Their bats started to come to life. Jordan, Jones, both Joneses, Chipper and Andrew. Julio Franco's giving them a big lift.
6th career postseason home run for Andrew Jones, Braves' 3rd home run of the day.
Well, he got a breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, and as soon as he hit that ball, you knew he had enough and just started trotting. He was even out in front of that a little bit, but Andrew is so strong, still able to drive the ball very deep into the left field seats.
Mark DeRosa batting for the first time today, the former Penn quarterback. All smiles in the Braves dugout. DeRosa with a base hit into center field.
And Larry Durker, not accustomed to seeing his bullpen get beat up like he is right now. In 1+ inning, they've given up 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which are earned.
Here's Keith Lockhart, who had one of the key at-bats in the game. As a pinch hitter, leading off the 8th with the Braves trailing 3-2, he doubled into the left field corner. Mike Jackson then struck out Caminiti. And then Giles singled home Lockhart on the ball that just got by Biggio.
Chipper was 0-for-8 against Wagner this year.
So Lockhart scored the tying run. Lines out to Biggio as DeRosa dives back in. Coming up shortly on Fox, Game 1, Mariners and Indians, sponsored by MasterCard. And then tonight at 8 Eastern on Fox Family, the other National League Division Series, Diamondbacks and the Cardinals, sponsored by Budweiser. A pair of 22-game winners, Matt Morris for St. Louis, Kurt Schilling for Arizona. And then the Yankees and the A's get started tomorrow night on Fox. Steve Torrealba, what's going through his mind? Played 2 games this past week, his first in the majors, and now his first career postseason at bat. Check swing, base hit down the right field line. DeRosa in at third. A double for Torrealba in his first postseason plate appearance. He spent the entire season in Double-A with Greenville, where he hit .271.
Well, everything going right for the Braves right now. Torrealba tried to hold up here, but his bat got out there a little bit too far, makes contact, and he slices one down in the right field corner. Thank you very much.
Torrealba has spent 7 years in the Braves organization, working his way up the ladder. Second and third, infield in. Chop to short, runners hold, Vizcaíno throwing out Smoltz. 2 away for Julio Franco, who has reached base 3 times. A pair of hits, reached on the Lugo error in the 8th, and scored a run on the Chipper Jones 3-run home run, which broke a 3-3 deadlock.
Take a look at what's happened to the Astros bullpen. Jackson 1 1/3, Wagner 2 2/3, Williams 2/3. They've given up 5 runs.
Wade Miller, the Astros 25-year-old starter, went 7 strong innings. He allowed only 2 runs on 7 hits. Did not walk a batter, struck out 6, and then the bullpen collapsed.
Well, Miller had a great fastball. He was throwing the ball by the majority of the Braves hitters all afternoon. Good slider. Didn't use his changeup much. But it's been the bullpen that has let them down today. And that hasn't happened that much this season. I mean, Houston bullpen is one of the best in baseball.
They led the entire National League in saves. Williams strikes out Franco to end the inning. Braves strand 2. They add a run. The Andrew Jones leadoff homer. Bottom of the 9th. You're watching Fox Family.
The 13 Days of Halloween, coming October 19th to Fox Family.
Look for a job lately? Employers wanting experience only? Maybe it's time you looked into a career as a medical assistant at Western Business College. This phone number is a good place to start. What are you waiting for? Stop drifting. Call for a brochure. Call 1-800-883-7240. 1-800-883-7240. That's 1-800-883-7240.
Hi, I'm Rick from Empire Glass. Let Empire Glass replace your cracked windshield and will now pay up to $100 of your comprehensive insurance deductible. And will now give you 24 free dinners to Sherry's, the Northwest's #1 family restaurant and bakery, with any windshield replacement. So for the highest in quality windshields, including up to $100 off your comprehensive deductible and 24 free dinners to Sherry's, call Empire Glass today at 251-9881. When you think glass, think Empire.
It's coming. 13 nights of creepy movies. It's magic. 13 nights of real ghost stories. 13 nights of haunted places. The 13 Days of Halloween begins October 19th on Fox Family. For more info and TV listings, visit Yahoo TV at tv.yahoo.com. The best teams, your favorite players, and they're all right here on Fox Family. That ball is gone. America loves baseball, and it's time for the playoffs. And the best seat in the house is right here on Fox Family. Major League Baseball, the divisional playoffs, all this week on Fox Family and Fox.
Julio Lugo in the Astros dugout. The shortstop's error back in the 6th inning led to the big inning for the Braves. The next batter, Chipper Jones, hit a 3-run homer to break the game open. Vinny Castilla sends this one out of the ballpark. A solo homer leading off the bottom of the 9th to pull the Astros within 3.
Vinny Castilla can turn around anybody's fastball. John Smoltz has not thrown a pitch under 98 miles per hour. Vinny Castilla has watched the way he has pitched to his teammates. He was dialed up for that fastball. And the grass doesn't grow out there where he hit that one. He hit that one a long, long way.
Richard Hidalgo with a drive. to deep left center. But this one stays in the ballpark. It's run down on the warning track by Andrew Jones.
It's a good pitch by Smoltz. Hidalgo, pretty good fastball hitter as well. Wasn't going to challenge him on the first pitch. Just a little get-me-over breaking ball that Hidalgo put in play. And Smoltz gets an easy out. You want to get easy outs now.
Here's Brad Ausmus. His 2-run shot in the 5th. Tied the game at 2 off Greg Maddux. Darrell Ward in the on-deck circle. Ausmus into right. And the Braves are 1 out away from winning game 1.
Chipper Jones back in the 4th inning. A dazzling play off the bat of Bagwell. Turn and throws the ball across the diamond. And then in the 8th inning, jumps on the first pitch that he sees from Billy Wagner. Hits the ball into the first tee of the stands. And that one puts this one out of reach for Houston.
So Darrell Ward steps in to pinch hit. Braves fans may recall game 1 of the 1999 Division Series in Atlanta, when Ward hit the game-winning homer off Greg Maddux. Now the first pitch from Billy Wagner in the 8th inning. Chipper Jones, 3-run homer. Bobby Cox and the Braves 1 out away. And he will send Tom Glavine to the hill tomorrow. John Smoltz with 1 career postseason save. That came in his first Major League relief appearance back in the 1999 NLCS against the New York Mets. Two and 1. Braves 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. Astros 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Should Ward reach, Biggio will be next. 2 and 2.
John Smoltz looks very, very good out on the mound. Under control. Great life on the fastball. Keeping the slider down in the strike zone.
Ward into left. Surhoff backtracking. The Braves take game 1. They take away home field advantage from the Astros, and they end their 7-game postseason losing streak.
It's going to be interesting to see how that youngster rebounds tomorrow, Julio Lugo.
Rudy seeing as the winner. Mike Jackson takes the loss. John Smoltz the same. Well, for those of you watching in Atlanta on WAGA and in Houston on KRIV, stay tuned for Fox's continuing coverage of the postseason as the Mariners host the Indians in Game 1 next. Those watching on Fox Family, you will return to regularly scheduled programming. And the postseason action returns tonight at 8 Eastern, Game 1 between the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. A 7-4 victory for the Braves in Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Glavine and Malicki tomorrow, same time, same place. For Ron Allen and our entire crew, Kenny Albert saying so long from Houston. Braves win it 7-4 over the Astros. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 Eastern, Game 2, Astros and the Braves.